Brand new episode of Max Talks Box Office here at Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinnenberg. Today I am breaking down the final box office weekend in 2025, December 26th to the 28th, 2025. We're also going to look at the overall numbers, both domestic and worldwide, for 2025 and preview things that are coming out this weekend. So my name is Max Dinnenberg, guys. Welcome back to Max Talks Movies. If you guys are new, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. We're in the final week of 2025. I'm trying to get to 400 subscribers. I'm around 12 subscribers away. So, guys, it would mean the world to me if you guys could subscribe, ring the bell, and get me to 400 because I talk all things movies, TV, box office, Oscar season, awards season. I do franchise rankings. I do everything. So please subscribe, ring the bell if you like any one of those things. Please comment down below. What did you see in theaters for Christmas Day? How was your holiday as well? Love to hear all your thoughts down in the comment section down below. And also, guys, please hit that thumbs up button. So without further ado, guys, let's get into this past weekend's box office, which I said is the 26th to the 28th, 2025. And in first place is Avatar, Fire and Ash, in its second weekend, only dropping 28% to make $64 million in its second weekend. It's up to $217 million domestic. And the big shock for many people is Avatar, Fire and Ash, which so many people deemed was a flop and a massive disappointment for Disney. The movie is already up to $760 million in its first 10 days of release. And I agree, $88 million opening is not a great opening for Avatar 3 because the second film opened to 134. But this movie's second weekend is much bigger than the second weekend for Avatar Way of Water. It's now pacing alongside it, side by side. And again, Avatar Way of Water got to $2.3 billion. So Avatar Fire and Ash, by the time I talk to you next weekend, will be in the billion-dollar club, which again, the second film, it did take 14 days to get there. So by the time Thursday hits, that's around the time Avatar Fire and Ash could be in the billion-dollar club. But just amazing. It does tell you that a lot of people were waiting to go to the movies during the Christmas week. The fact that it fell on a Thursday, many people were off work and school for the entire week. The box office numbers for this weekend are really strong across the board. So you're seeing that a lot of people maybe didn't go out the week before Christmas because maybe they had work, some extra school stuff, whatever. And now everyone's off and a whole week of things because Christmas falling really in the middle of the week. That really led to many people going to the theater. And Avatar Fire and Ash did get those people back in the theater. I did say the audience score was a big tell that this would get a lot of repeat viewing. It has a really strong A minus cinema score and 91% on Rotten Tomatoes critic score as well, audience score as well. So even though the critics are very lukewarm on Avatar Fire and Ash, there's still such a passion for this franchise. And then once again, we just need to stop doubting James Cameron. And Avatar franchise, again, James Cameron continues to be very vocal about what he'll do if Disney does not let him make an Avatar 4 and 5. But I think with these numbers, and if it even gets close to $2 billion, we will definitely see a fourth and fifth entry into the franchise. Movies getting to $1 billion. We throw a whole kumbaya party for. The fact that a movie could even get to $2 billion, like the last two movies, would be unbelievable. So Avatar Fire and Ash is at number one. At number two is Zootopia 2. In its fifth weekend, it surged with a 35% bump. In its fifth weekend, it made $20 million. 321 domestic for Zootopia 2, 1.4 billion. Really weird. Zootopia has been, again, a much bigger hit internationally than domestically. 79% of its box office share goes to international box office. Only 21% of that is coming here in the United States and Canada. But it surged for the holidays as the animated movie that families were going to watch. David and SpongeBob fell out of the top 5 this weekend, while Zootopia 2 surged. And look at Disney. Everyone makes fun of Disney for 80% of the year, and they ended really strong. Obviously had Lilo and Stitch earlier in the year, which was up for the majority of the year was the only billion-dollar movie from America this year. And they're going to end the year with two more billion-dollar entries with Zootopia 2 and Avatar. The studio has grossed now over $6 billion worldwide this year, which is $2 billion more than Warner Brothers, who have been, for many people, the best studio of 2025. But Disney, once again, from a business perspective, will be kings once again. Really amazing that Zootopia 2 continues to climb up these charts. Another great story of the weekend is Marty Supreme in its in its second weekend went wide. And it's at number three. It made it 17.7 for the 3 day, 28.4 million since its release on Christmas Day. This is the second biggest opening ever for an A24 movie behind Civil War. There's only, I think, if I'm not mistaken, two A24 movies ever that has grossed over 100 million domestic. Both were around 130, 140. That was Everything Everywhere All at Once and Civil War. But again, this really does show you that everyone started making fun also of Timothy Chalamet. Is he over promoting? Is his bravado, the way he carries himself, too much for moviegoers? No, because really you can tell he really single-handed really powered this movie to be seen. It is an indie movie, an A24 small movie about a Jewish ping pong player, and it made almost $30 million in its opening weekend. Just honestly, an amazing achievement across the board. I'm fascinated for Timmy how this helps him with Dune, because while Dune is definitely one of the more critically acclaimed franchise, those movies haven't come close to $1 billion, both Dune 1 and Dune 2. And as of now, Dune 3 is holding its release date to release the same day as Avengers Doomsday. So maybe they feel so confident in Timmy that that will help Dune 3. I think at some point this year, Dune 3 will move off of its release date so it's not cannibalizing itself and also a Doomsday. But still, Timothy Chalamet, we are in a lost art in Hollywood of true movie stars, actors that can really, without knowing the quality of the movie, a movie star driving business. And this is one of the first instances, really all year, that we've seen one movie star bring such a large amount of people to the movie theater. So Timothy Chalamet feels like the movie star of his generation. Truly amazing, the story for Marty Supreme. The Housemaid from Lionsgate is at number four. It only dropped 19% in its second weekend. 15.4 million, excuse me. The movie 4 and 5 made very similar money, so I got myself tied there. 15.4 million. It's up to 46.4. This is a massive win across the board for everyone really involved. Sydney Sweeney, the Christie situation really did not work out for her and all of his other controversies and whatever, but she found herself with a box office winner with The Housemaid, Amanda Seyfried, whose awards movie is also not really being seen by anyone, but she gets a must necessary win with this movie, as well as Brandon Sklenar, who's had 3 wins. Drop was a very moderate success for Universal. Obviously, it ends with us, and now The Housemaid. 19% is a really good drop, and it looks like The Housemaid was really good counter-programming to all of the family films that were hitting theaters alongside it. So really good news for Lionsgate and The Housemaid. At number 5 this weekend from Sony is Anaconda in its opening weekend. It made 14.5 for the 3-day, 23.6 overall since its release on Christmas Day. Obviously, Sony was betting on this being the mixture of Tropic Thunder and Jumanji, but this movie did not blow up. The audience scores and the critic scores are not that great for this movie. Luckily, though, the movie does have a $45 million budget, so this was not a expensive movie to make. Which is good for Sony, and it's always nice to see movies like these not cost $150 million. But Jack Black also was riding hard off of Minecraft earlier this year, which almost got to $1 billion. But Jack Black could not bring that same success with Anaconda. Again, really fierce competition. It's also going for that same family demo because it's a PG-13 rating. So it's going for, it's a weird counter programming where The Housemaid feels like really strong counter programming to Avatar and Zootopia. And I think Marty Supreme being as big of a success it was limited the growth for movies like Song Sung Blue and Anaconda at the box office. Let's move on to the domestic numbers here, 2025. You can see them on my top left. Minecraft 1, Lilo and Stitch 2, Superman is at 3, Jurassic World Rebirth at 4, Wicked for Good 5, Zootopia 2 6, Sinners 7, Fantastic Four First Steps 8, How to Train Your Dragon is at 9, and Avatar Fire and Ash is in the top 10 now of the year, domestic with its $217 million. That will continue to go deeper into the top 10 the more weeks and months we go. Because again, because it's a 2025 movie, its numbers that it will accumulate in 2026 continue its overall run for these lists because we're not going to stop talking about 2025 for quite a while. With the worldwide numbers, Nezha 2 obviously is at number 1, Zootopia 2 is at number 2, Lilo and Stitch is at 3, Minecraft 4, Jurassic World Rebirth in 5, and there is Avatar Fire and Ash in 10 days' time is the 6th biggest movie of the year. It's going to get into the $1 billion club. It'll be in the top 5 overall for the year. The question is, can it even get to $2 billion? That is the question, but Avatar Fire and Ash underwhelmed for many people in its box office numbers for the first weekend and blew the doors wide open for its box office numbers in its second weekend. So it's going to keep climbing up these charts. Demon Slayer's at 7, How to Train Your Dragon's at 8, F1 the movie's at 9, and Superman is at 10. There are no new movies because now we're heading into the month of January. New Year's Day is upcoming on Thursday. So this weekend's box office will be from January 2nd to the 4th. I'll be breaking down next week, but there are no major Hollywood releases hitting theaters this weekend. January and the 2026 box office kicks off the following weekend, which is January the 9th, with films like Primate and Greenland 2. So next weekend, I'll break down the box office. How does Avatar, with no competition, does it continue to make a boatload of money? I'm also going to preview the box office numbers, preview all of the movies that are hitting theaters in January next week. Tons of videos, guys, are still hitting the channel this week. My Song Sung Blue review will be out tomorrow. Wednesday, because it is New Year's Eve, I'm going to have both my worst movies of the year and my favorite movies of the year, the best movies of the year list coming out on Wednesday. Maybe one Wednesday, one on Thursday. We shall see. Multiple videos. Also, my Stranger Things spoiler review for the series finale is going to come out this week. So tons of videos, guys, are hitting the channel. So please subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you guys in another video very soon.